the whole police force was with them, supporting them, disarming the Sikhs. Whosoever is trying to defend himself was arrested. This is the state of affair in 1984. Now in Gujarat also the things were very bad. Well, we say that even in the Gujarat also the guilty should be punished. Modi is responsible for Gujarat. But as far as the 1984 is concerned, it was much worse than Gujarat.
1984 was much worse than Gujarat. Let's put that to you, Manish Tiwari. The fact is, in 1984, there's witness testimony that Congress leaders were actually out on the streets leading the mobs. This is not necessarily the case in Gujarat. Also, if I may draw your attention to some statistics, 2,733 were killed in Delhi, 1,000 were killed in Gujarat. Of the 1,000 killed in Gujarat, 790 were Muslims, 254 were Hindus. But in Delhi, only Sikhs were killed. So it turns out that Delhi was a genocide, whereas Gujarat satisfies the definition of a riot.
Sagrika, first of all, allow me to very unambiguously put it on record that I hold no brief for anybody who was guilty of the riots of 1984. Since I come from Punjab and I grew up on the trench lines of terror, I lost a father to terrorism. I come from a family which is half Hindu, half Jat Sikhs. I had friends who unfortunately became victims in the 84 riots. So personally, for me, those 6 months between the April of 1984 when I lost my father and the November of 1984 when these riots took place was the worst period of my life. So therefore, I can personally say that I hold no brief for anybody who was instrumental in either organizing, orchestrating or operationalizing those riots which took place in 1984. I have tremendous respect personally for Mr. Phoolka and the cause that he has been pursuing. I do firmly believe that there can be no comparison between one riot and another, and no riot can justify or be an excuse for another riot. All those who are responsible for the 84 riots must be brought to justice, and if the Indian judicial system has failed to deliver, and of course Mr. Phoolka is entitled to his point of view, which I may not fully agree with, but I do admit that yes, it has been a failing of the system, and even today you have people not only in Delhi, but I have the largest number of right settlers in my constituency in Ludhiana who are still waiting for justice, and I think that's something which the Indian state seriously needs to look at even today.
Let's put your view to Mr. Jainuddin Vyas. Mr. Jainuddin Vyas of the BJP, you know, what you're hearing from Manish Tiwari is what a number of Congress leaders have voiced as well. They have distanced themselves from the riots of 1984. They have expressed their remorse. They have said they are sorry that it happened. The Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh, has himself given an apology. This is not the kind of language, the language that Manish Tiwari is speaking, that we even hear from the BJP or the VHP or other Sangh outfits. We don't hear the BJP ever express any remorse, ever distance itself from the riots, ever give an apology. Mr. Narendra Modi himself has never expressed any remorse.
Well, one thing, Sagrika, I will fully endorse what Manish has said is that riots are riots. You cannot compare one riot, another riot and say this was better than this riot or that riot. They are the incidences which do not do any good to the mankind, and no civilized society should ever endorse this or that.
But why not give an apology? Why not give an apology for the riot, just as Manmohan Singh has given an apology for 1984?
This is precisely where I differ with you, that you as a media also have taken up the kind of a tirade with your own self-appointed style of kind of sitting over the judgment, that you offer the apology, then only you are coming clean out of it. What has been said earlier, I mean, there is a marked difference between what happened in Delhi, what happened in Gujarat. That is number one. Number two, you must know that more people have been killed in police firing. The administration was not sitting like a lame duck and watching the show as it is made out to be. But perhaps the dimension of the trouble was so large that what could have been possibly best perhaps was not done as it was expected. Now nobody has justified कि नहीं जो हुआ वो सही हुआ है. That is not the case. So question of saying that now we apologize for something for which you are not at guilt at all. You know, it is unnecessary planting a guilt where it is not. You know, you are trying to work with a double-edged sword. If you apologize, you say you are guilty. The 1984,
no, but
there
the
were
fact
reasons
is,
for
Mr.
Dr.
General
Manmohan
Vyas,
Singh.
that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
For Dr. Manmohan
That
Singh to
doesn't.
apologize because there was a judicial commission which held a particular segment of the society responsible for the genocide against the Sikhs. This is not the case as far as Gujarat is concerned.
Well, we see
So,
then in that case, we see that BJP still continuing with its double-speak on the Gujarat riots over there. Let me come to you. You know, when it comes actually to convictions, in Gujarat, the record is much better than it is in Delhi. There have been many more convictions in Gujarat in the riot cases than there have been in Delhi. In Delhi, 3,000 were killed. There are only 13 convictions. In Gujarat, there are over 20 convictions. So as far as the justice process is concerned, you could say that the justice delivery process has been better in Gujarat than it has been in Delhi.
Well, that's no consolation at all, because after all, a lot of this Gujarat legal process has been going on under the Supreme Court's supervision, monitoring. So you have to bear that in mind. And they have also received this jolt of 2 cases being actually moved out of their jurisdiction. I mean, that was such a blow to the system. Best Bakery, and you had this mass rape.
So you can't really give Gujarat much credit for that.
No, I mean, the environment is different.
The environment is different. The media
is there.
The media,
there's
that's
so
a
much
big
more
difference.
monitoring.
That's the
there's
big
so much more
difference,
vigilance on the part of citizenry, civil society.
Isn't that a point, Manish Tiwari, that you know the Congress and Rajiv Gandhi to some extent have got away because the media was not there in 1984. The fact is the media was very much there in 2002 in Gujarat, which is why it's burned into our consciousness. 1984 therefore has been largely forgotten because the images are have not been captured as vividly.
Well, Sagarika, allow me to make 2 points. First of all, if you recall, I think possibly you personally would be old enough to recall that after the assassination of late Mrs. Indira Gandhi, it was actually Mr. Rajiv Gandhi who, as Prime Minister, went around Delhi trying to allay the apprehensions of the people, trying to ensure that law and order be restored. So therefore, to hold Mr. Rajiv Gandhi responsible, I think, is being a trifle unfair. And number 2, insofar as the media is concerned, I think you had an equally proactive...
Mr. Tiwari, if I may butt in.
May I just complete? May I just complete?
Okay.
And insofar as the media is concerned, you know, you had an equally proactive media in 1984. But that is not to say that there has not been a systemic failing. Again, I would like to reiterate where I started with.
There was a systemic failing.
Unfortunately, justice to the victims of the 84 riots is long overdue, and I think there is a serious need to address it in totality. If at all there is any justice which can be delivered even today, all of us should collectively endeavor to see that those people who lost their kith and kin in this unfortunate situation, you know, their quest for justice does get addressed.
That's a good point. Let me just take a break. But before that, let me just put to Mr. Phoolka your point about Rajiv Gandhi. Mr. Phoolka, should you keep blaming Rajiv Gandhi? As Manish Tiwari is saying, Rajiv Gandhi did, at the end of the day, commissions of inquiry were set up. Those who were responsible were consigned to political oblivion, like Sajjan Kumar, like Jagdish Taitler later on, though. So, in fact, the government did act. Can you squarely put the blame on Rajiv Gandhi as you are doing?
You see, on the 7th of November, the political leaders of many parties, they go to Rajiv Gandhi and they give him the name of Sajjan Kumar and other MPs of Congress leaders who are involved in the killing of the Sikhs. And Rajiv Gandhi says, no action against any Congress person, no action will be taken. I mean, on 7th November 84 itself, the Rajiv Gandhi is giving the clean chit to everybody. I mean, whoever is involved. The victims are making the statement, they are saying, everybody is saying, is naming them, he is giving them the clean chit. Now after that, on 19th November, in the rally, Rajiv Gandhi tried to just show it that nothing has happened. That kind of attitude. But from there, the attitude of shielding the guilty starts. And that is when the government and the police and everybody started that the guilty are not to be punished, they are to be protected, and that clearly shows that the manner in which the police is conducting investigation, they are not registering the cases, and they are not even showing the number of killings.
Right.
I mean, till 1987, even the official figure of killing didn't come out. Now, on the Home Minister gave the statement in the floor of the House in second week of November that only 600 people have been killed throughout India.
Right.
Now, on 16th of November, Mr. Bajpai, who was the leader of the opposition, he came out with a list of 2,806 who have been killed in Delhi alone. Now, Congress said Bajpai is anti-national. He is favoring the Sikhs. He is exaggerating the figure. But after 3 years, the Congress government of Rajiv Gandhi itself came out with a report that 2,733 were killed. I mean, it took them 3 years even to ascertain how many people are killed. I mean, they were treating as these. I mean, they were not even the human beings at all. I mean, as if some Kida Makoda has been killed, and the government is not worried at all, even to ascertain what
the government was treating the Sikhs like Kida Makoda have been killed. Manish Tiwari, if in Gujarat a chief minister is culpable, in 1984 Delhi a prime minister is culpable, according to Mr. Phoolka there.
Well, I can understand Mr. Phoolka's agitation, since he's been fighting for justice for the last 27 years. But also let us not forget that it was a Congress government which immediately appointed a commission of inquiry, allowed that commission of inquiry to complete its work.
Those were whitewashes. All those commissions whitewashed the guilty and shielded the guilty.
Well, Sagrika, I would appreciate if you do not interrupt. If we are going to term a commission of inquiry as a whitewash, I don't think we are really casting aspersions on the executive. We are casting aspersions on the probity of those judicial officers. So therefore, be that as it may, the facts remain that a judicial commission of inquiry was constituted. It went into the entire issue at length.
Right.
It recommended prosecutions, and that is from where the whole process really takes off. So therefore, again, I am not saying that again, Sagrika, I am not saying that I hold any brief or anything.
Okay, you've made that point, Manish. You've made that point, but I'm going to come back. We have to take a break. We have to take a break. When we come back, we'll ask Manish Tiwari, why is it that HKL Bhagat, the Congress leader of Delhi, who was very much charged with complicity in those riots, was later then even a Congress chief ministerial candidate in Delhi. We'll come back and ask that to Manish Tiwari.